Hello everyone and welcome. It's Chef Jason Morris, your Ace Hardware Grill expert, and thank you for joining us for this edition of, it's our first edition of Ace This Recipe. That's right, for the next 52 weeks or more, we are going to be doing a weekly recipe feature. We're gonna film them on Tuesday, launch them on Thursday, so tune in every Thursday and join us for another edition of Ace This Recipe. Today, we obviously are getting in the festive holiday mood, right? And there's only one reason we could be in such a festive mood, and it's this beautiful, beautiful grill right here. This is the new Ace Hardware exclusive Weber Genesis 2 E325 in indigo blue. Look at that amazing, beautiful indigo blue color. It was great because as I was wheeling it through the store, getting set up here in our winter wonderland for filming today, we had customers and associates alike saying, hey, wait a minute, how do I get a grill that beautiful? Well, I'll tell you what, they are now landing at your local Ace Hardware just in time for the gift-giving holiday, I think, too, right? So you can grab this recipe today down below in the comments section. Allison's gonna put a link in there and you'll be able to click the link, print the recipe, and follow along. We've made it pretty super easy and way simple for you to follow along on this Red Vest approved video. And then up top, we've got that little eye that will show up from time to time. Click that eye, that's the information section. That's gonna pop up with things on how to buy the rubs, where to find the awesome thermometers we're using, where to find the grill and the gear, the spices, the gadgets, the gloves, everything that we're cooking with here today. And then be sure to tell your friends, subscribe to the Ace Hardware YouTube channel. Go down that little bell, click on the bell, type in your email in the notifications, and you're gonna be rewarded handsomely every time one of our Red Vest videos is live for you. So we have a lot of cool stuff. We're into a little food flyover next. Start talking about all the great food we are cooking with today, and then it's time to rock and roll. So thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time. Let's get ready to ace this recipe. One of the important things to talk about, I think, is the food, right? Because we want to know what to buy, what do we find, what are we looking for, and what are the ingredients in this recipe. One of the things you've asked for is, hey, keep it simple. Don't give us a huge shopping list of recipes. We definitely did that on this, and I love this marinade recipe because it is super simple, but totally power-packed with flavor. And what do we have? Well, we're gonna start off with some golden Italian dressing. Super easy, super simple. If you can't find that, we have a white balsamic vinaigrette. We wanna keep that dressing a little bit lighter in color so it doesn't make the chicken too dark. We're gonna use a little bit of sweet chili sauce as well, nice and easy. And then we're just gonna use a little bit of our A Dub seasoning. But if you wanna kick it up and have a little bit, a more barbecue flavor, a little bit more robust flavor of maple, brown sugar, that kind of stuff, you can go ahead and use some of the oink as well. But those are pretty easy, simple recipes. And now we're talking chicken. So we went to our local grocery store and we picked out some chicken. So we grabbed a pack where the chicken is all sized and all perfectly ready to go for us, already trimmed and set. And then we went down to the other section and bought some chicken where, hey, there's a little bit of trimming that we may have to do to it. So we wanted to show you kind of what chicken to look for, what chicken to buy. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't really matter if you're buying a size chicken breast or not. I tend to go more towards the random. And I'll tell you why I like these random sized breasts, because now I'm gonna get a real thick lobe up top. It'll thin out a little bit, but I'm able to cut it at a bias and really make some nice, easy medallions that are gonna be the same height, the same length, the same width, everything. So I get even fast cooking, and that's what's important. So pretty fast and simple recipe, right? We've got some awesome chicken we're ready to go with. We've got that golden Italian dressing, sweet chili sauce, and then A Dub or oink. Gloves we're using today, we get a lot of questions about our gloves. These are GloveWorks gloves that we stock at a lot of our local Ace Hardwares. This is a nitrile glove that is really good, super thick, great to use. This one's got a little bit of texture to it. They are not heat resistant, so from time to time you may see me grab some hot stuff with it. Just know that pretty much after years of cooking, my hands are numb. Yeah, it's true. But these are great gloves. They do a good job keeping you definitely food safe, keeping your hands set and ready to go, and allowing you to be nice and clean while you go. So we're gonna use a mixing bowl, just a standard mixing bowl today, and then a couple Ziploc bags. And the nice thing about these Ziplocs is I went with ones that have a little gusset on the bottom. So actually, as we get ready to rock and roll, these will stand up nice for us, allow us to pour that marinade in there. So that's our food flyover. Next up, we're gonna show you how to make this marinade, because we have about 6 hours of time to marinate. So we're gonna get the marinade made quick. We're gonna do a little hanging out, and then we're gonna talk grills and get ready to rock and roll. as we get into this recipe, we definitely need to hurry along because we've got about a 6-hour marinade ahead of us and we want to get this in there nice and fast. So one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to add a cup of golden Italian dressing. We're going to get that all set. We shook the bottle up nice, make sure we got everything set and ready to go. Everything was mixed well. Next, we're going to add a half a cup of some sweet chili sauce. This is going to add just a nice little kick, right? Nothing crazy, but it's going to add a lot of flavor. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of Rub A Dub. And like I said, you want to kick up the flavor a little bit, you can definitely add some oink. To get a little of that maple bacon brown sugar flavor in the chicken, we're going to go basic and stick with our all-purpose Rub A Dub. Now we'll give this guy a beautiful mix. And there you have it. I mean, look at that. It doesn't get much easier than that. You know, when you buy chicken, one of the things we always talk about is, I mean, look at how thick that piece is and look at how thin that piece is. How do we ever get a piece of chicken this big to be cooked evenly and consistently? Well, I have the solution for you. One of the first things we're going to do here is we'll just take a trim, make sure there's nothing on there that we don't want or we don't need, right? Then, what am I going to do? I'm going to hold the chicken flat with my hand on it, and at an angle or a bias cut, I'm going to cut through that and make a nice medallion, and another medallion, and another medallion. So now, look what we did. We took this big, huge piece of chicken that was nice and thick up here and thin down there, and we turned it into an even cooking series of medallions, right? And this is our 2 pounds of chicken that we need for this recipe. Look at that. Way simple, way easy. Just a chef's tip. Make sure you always know where that knife is at. So I like to keep my hand down and slice under it and get it all set. But here's the beauty of it. Now, what's also nice about this is, check it out. We've got individual size pieces. So now if I'm in the mood for 2 pieces, I'm done, I'm set, I'm ready to go. If I'm in the mood for 3, I've got that as well. So that being said, let's go ahead and get our Ziploc bag open. Like I said, we got Ziplocs that are called standing Ziploc bags, right? They have a little gusset in the bottom. We will put that guy in there like so. Now we will go ahead and put the rest of this down below. And we will take that, put that guy away as well, and our gloves. All right, now we're all set. Go ahead and take this. Make sure our bag is standing tall. And we're going to hold that one side open and pour the marinade in. The beauty of this, we're not making 2 gallons of marinade to go over a small amount of chicken. We're really trying to make just the right amount, all that we need. So I'll zip this up, squeeze out that extra air, and now just give this a squish as well, and we are set. I'll double check, make sure there's no air. Now, guess what? I fold it up just like that into my fridge, and we're going to let this go for 6 hours. You can do this overnight as well. If you get into the 8-hour mark, you're fine. What I like to do it early morning, get it ready for dinner tonight, but we're going to let all that flavor soak into that chicken. Why? We picked a chicken that didn't have any solutions in it, so it didn't contain any brines or any pumps or any broth. It was an all-natural chicken, just set and ready to go. So now we are controlling the flavor. As you hear us say a lot, we're controlling the flavor from package to the plate. All right, next up, we're going to show you how to get the Weber fired up and ready for grilling. We have the gas turned on now. We know we're nice and full. We have it turned down on at the tank. What we're going to do first is turn this burner on for a second. Listen to the burnt light. That one has started. We're going to turn the second burner on and light it. And the third burner. All right, so all 3 burners are going. I haven't lit the sear station yet because what I want to do is wait until this grill climbs up into that 450, 500 degree range, and once it gets up there, then I'm going to turn that sear station on to supplement this area right here. That, like I said, this area here, these 2 burners plus that are going to make a very, very hot sear station. Pretty easy, pretty simple, right? Well, we preheated the Weber and we've got it set at 450. Now we're going to go ahead and turn on the sear station and get that going as well. We want to bump that heat up into that, I don't know, probably 550 to 600 degree range so we can start off with a beautiful sear. What we're going to do first here, get this chicken out of the marinade because we want to let this drip for just a little bit so we're not bringing too much into the grill. But look at that. Look at that beautiful color and seasoning and flavoring we've got. And again, like I said, this is a 6-hour process. Do it early in the morning. Let it get ready for dinner time. You are set to go. We'll pull this out. think you're gonna be impressed with this. One of the things I love most is being able really to have a little bit better portion control in the chicken, so that if you have somebody that only wants to eat, you know, a half a piece, they don't have to take a full piece now. So we're gonna let this drain for just a couple minutes. Follow me over to the grill here in a second. We're gonna get this stuff started. We'll get the iGrill 3 probe loaded. We're gonna show you how we are gonna have hot, juicy, delicious, flavorful chicken in about 10 to 12 minutes. All right, you guys, look at that. We are hot in that sear station. We are good to go. We're gonna take our pan over here and we're gonna put this smooth side up first, just so that we get a nice sear on that smooth, easy side. Look at that. Oh man, so hot. This sear station, we opened the grill at 650, so this sear station is definitely ready to rock and roll and get us some beautiful chicken. We'll let those guys go like that. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick the thickest piece of chicken and I'm gonna get that iGrill probe in there so it's about in the middle of the chicken, okay? Then we'll close that lid, and now, like I said, we're gonna let the first side go for about 5 to 6 minutes. Let that sear get nice and hot and get the cooking process started. And as it starts to cook and force the temperature up this way, then we're gonna flip it so that once again it can start on the bottom and get us a beautifully cooked piece of chicken. So we're gonna let this go about 5 or 6 minutes. We'll see you back when it's time to flip. We are about 2 minutes into cooking, and here you can see we're already tracking temperature up to 49 degrees. So we're gonna go ahead with, like I said, the beauty of that iGrill 3 is we're gonna let our iPad do all the tracking for us while we kind of just kick back and enjoy our cooking. Look at that, we're about halfway through here. Maybe a couple minutes left to flip, but if you're wondering about this probe, it's okay having a little bit of it out like we have there, because the majority of it that's exposed, what it's doing now is really building an ambient temperature between what's in the chicken and what's out here. And it knows this is way hot, and it's really focusing on getting a reading right down in there on the probe. So that's what we'll do. We'll get this shut. Like I said, look at us and cooking. All right, we are at 6 minutes. So using a new pair of tongs, we switched out tongs. So using a brand new pair of tongs, we're gonna go ahead and give these guys a flip here. And I like to go right with the grill grate so that I'm not going against it. I'm not tearing up my chicken. But look at that. Beautiful cast iron sear on that chicken. That is gorgeous. We'll get all these pieces flipped over there, including that one there. We'll get that turned to the side. And there you go. Now we're going to let this go for the remainder of it. Another 5 or 6 minutes until we get that chicken right where we need it. Well, I was super hungry. I threw some peppers down as well, but I'm going to use my thermometer here too, just to check some of these smaller pieces and see where we're at. And we are at 160. So like I said, we're going to move this guy up and let this do a little bit of finishing. What we're looking for is pulling our chicken at 163 degrees. We know that the doneness, the temperature that we're going for is 165, but this doesn't magically stop cooking when you take it off the grill. It will continue to carry over a bit. So we want to carry to that 165, that where we know everything is done and be set and ready to go. But I'm going to pull some of these smaller pieces off up top. Like I said before, let the bigger pieces finish up. Smaller pieces can go there. Well, there you have it. We temped everything, and this chicken is done. These big, fat, juicy ones on the bottom temped at 167. So we want to get those guys off. These top ones temped in nice and hot as well. And I just have a pan to the side. I'm going to put all my chicken to a pan in the side. And then what I do here is just give that a quick grab. Well, talk about a delicious piece of chicken. This is definitely it. That sear station on the Genesis did a fantastic job getting this hot and fast and juicy, right? That marinade, 6 hours of marinade, did a good job as well, giving us really a good foundation of flavor to kick things off. You want to add a little more flavor? Try a little fire honey or your favorite barbecue sauce on top of here, and you are set and ready to go. Like I said before, if you're looking to find this recipe, you can go down into the comment section below, and there's a link down there. Click on that link, and you can print this recipe out. Heck, print a couple copies out and share it with your friends, because everybody wants juicy chicken. So I'm Chef Jason Morris, your Ace Hardware Grill expert. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for cooking with us on our very first edition of Ace This Recipe. Be sure to tell your friends it's time to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Click on the little bell below, type in your email address. They will be rewarded beautifully and deliciously when our next Red Vest video is live for your viewing enjoyment. So thanks so much for joining us today. We'll see you next week on Ace This Recipe.